Hey, boys and girls, this is part 2 of your lesson today. This is lesson 22, more irregular verbs. Hopefully you just did part 1 and now you're ready for part 2. Your workbook pages are on your assignment sheet, so you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, so lesson 22, more irregular verbs. Irregular verbs do not form the past tense by adding ed. Instead, the spelling of a irregular verb changes when the past tense is formed. The spelling may change again when the irregular verb is used with the helping verbs has, have, or had. So you'll see why I combine these lessons is because it's the exact same thing. It just has a different chart on it. So you're going to be given you're going to be given different words than probably what you had on your last workbook page. So there's a chart of new words. You're welcome to go back and look at them when it comes time to do your exercises, so you won't have any problems. All right, so let's look at practice set A. And this is the exact same thing as you did in on the other page, practice set A. They were very, 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 very nice to you and gave you the 2 words that you get to choose from in parentheses. So this shouldn't take you very long because you just did it. Now, remember, you have to look for the have, has, or had in the sentence. If there's a helping verb there, then you need to refer back to your chart, and you're going to use the words in that last column. And so that's going to give you a clue on which column you need to look at. So I'm going to do the first one with you. You're going to do 2 through 10 by yourself. Come back, check your work, just like you did on the other one. It says cowboys have, told tales about Pecos Bill. Okay, so there is the word have. So if you go back and look on your chart, you go down to tell, told. Even though the past is going to be told again, you use has, have, or had with it. Okay, so we did cowboys have told tales about Pecos Bill. So go ahead and do 2 through 10 by yourself. Very easy. They've given you the choice. You can go back and look at your chart if you need to. Remember, if you get it wrong when we go back to correcting it, I want you to just put the correct answer above it or to the side or something so that your home teacher can see if you're having problems with this. So go ahead and do 2 through 10. When you're finished, come back. All right, now that you are back, let's go to number 2. They have, so that word have is there. And so if you look on the chart and you look at sing, it's going to be sing, sang, have, sung. The Coyotes blank bill to the Texas Plains. Okay, we know it cannot be taken. The reason why we know it cannot be taken is because there is no have, has, or had. So it needs to be took. Bill blank faster than any other cowboy. Okay, again, we know it cannot be ridden because there is no has, have, or had. So we know it has to be rode. He blanked the biggest cattle to market. No has, have, or had, so it has to be drove. All right, now, it says no cowboy had ever. Ever is going to be an adverb, and we've not talked about those yet. But if you look right before that, there is the word had, all right? So you're going to take it just like those words were together. So no cowboy had ever threw a lasso so well or thrown. If you look on your chart, you know that it has to be thrown. Number 7, one tail has blank of a terrible drought. Has tell. Well, that doesn't sound right, but we know if we look back at our chart that we know it has to be told. Pecos Bill had blank up into the sky on his horse. Okay, this one, I bet some of you have missed this one because had rode, I've heard you guys say that before. Okay, but we know it can't be rode because there is a had there, a helping verb of had. And so if you look back at your chart, you know that the answer has to be ridden. He had, what? Drove? Some of you guys would probably say that, but that's not correct. Had, if you look back on your chart, has to be used with the word driven. And the last one, he blanked them open so the rain would fall. He broke them open so the rain would fall. All right, you should be getting the hang of this. A lot of times it's just which one sounds the best, but you always need to remember the rule, because if you get stuck, let's say if you had 10 problems and 9 of them you're like, oh, well, that just sounds right, I know that works. And then there's that 10th one that you're like, ooh, I don't know which one sounds right. You can go back to your rules and always figure it out. That's why we learn the rules. A lot of times in grammar, it will be which one sounds right, but then if you can't tell, then you rely on the rules to make sure you get the correct answer. So this was an extremely short lesson. Combined with your other one, it's probably about the same length as your other ones. So we will have a grammar test on irregular verbs on Friday. So pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you do all your work this week, and you won't have any problems on your quiz on Friday. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on tomorrow.